Hello, good Vok, everyone. Here we are. It's Shabbos. Parshas Lech Lecha. Shlach Lecha. Amazing parsha with a lot of things going on, a lot of moving parts. This parsha, you know, Meraglim and this and that. It's just like boggles the mind. Okay. Oh Hashem. Oh Hashem. You know, the most incredible thing that sort of like escapes us on a day-to-day basis is the fact that life is happening right now, and every single day is counted, and every single word is counted, and we're acquiring and amassing immense treasures with every single piece of Torah that we learn, every single nakuda that we go through, that we mention. It's almost like unfathomable because well, we're like in it, you know what I'm saying? We're like doing it, and our vantage point is that, you know, we are who we are, that's a given, and we are the people that we are, and that's also a given. And there's the natural opaque curtain of gashmias that the body imposes on us, and we have whatever chinks in the armor of that gashmias armor that is blocking us. You know, we're heading on it, but it's still everything is based on, you know, Amuna. And because, like, as Rabbeinu says, if a person knew with a complete heart that Kadosh Baruch Hu stands upon him and listens to every single word he's saying, he would daven with tremendous enthusiasm and would be very careful for every single word that he's saying. When we talk to somebody, when we talk to a friend, when we talk to, you know, a great person, definitely, you know, we are so focused on what's going on and how we're speaking and what we say, what we don't say. And when we're speaking before somebody who we have great admiration for, you know, we are so afraid to utter the wrong word, you know, or not be clear about what we're saying. I mean, you know, it's fear. It's not a fear of what will he do to me, but it's kind of, you know, an awe. And this, because this is Gashmias, because this is right in front of us. So it's self-explanatory, it's obvious. But with Kodesh Baruch Hu, we have to jump over, you know, this brick wall of this world. We have to remind ourselves we're talking to Hashem. We're doing mitzvahs for Hashem. We're letters Hashem. We're looking to get connected with the tzaddikim of Hashem in order to get closer to Hashem. It's all like, you know, theoretical. It's all like we have to force ourselves to connect to it. But within it all, we need to remind ourselves that bevadai, when we will able, as much as we're able to chip off the cover, the more enthusiastic we will be, and so forth and so on. But the show is already going on now. All the good stuff that we do is already happening right now. So here we go, learning, Sipurey Baal Shemtov, Haran. So let's see what the Baal Shemtov says. One time, a Balabais came to Baal Shemtov, just a simple person came to Baal Shemtov. I told him, Rebbe, the great avoiders, Atzois, Vasikin, Isbaidadus, Tanesim, whatever it is, learning Torah for hours. I can't do that. Just give me the kind of regimen, kind of avodas Hashem, that I will have this world and next world. In other words, I can't separate myself totally from this world. As we said in this Akdama, I'm still in this body, I'm still, So Baal Shem Tov said, okay, I will give you such an avodah that you should be happy with your lot. So this Balabos told the Baal Shem Tov, Rebbe, this is hard. Baal Shem Tov said, this is exactly what I meant. We've been talking about this particular Nakuda for the longest time. Not the longest time, for quite some time now. The thing is to be happy with your lot. To be happy with your lot begins with being happy about who you are, about who I am. And the natural inclination is like, I can possibly be happy with who I am. I mean, come on. Let's be realistic, just come on. I mean, other people, think of me, whatever they think of me, and they may build me up like I don't know what, or Chas Chalila build me, put me down like I don't know what. But I know who I am. I can't pull the wool over my own eyes. How can I be happy with my lot? And this is not, I'm not even getting to what it is that I have or what it is that I don't have. I don't even talking about that. But just for who I am. I may not have, may not. I don't have the greatest intellect on the face of the earth. I don't catch things very quickly. And when things get too complicated, I still don't get it. And I have these bad needles or whatever it is that the person may find in himself. Be happy with who I am. And then, of course, there is about what you have. You're married, you're not married, you have money, you don't have money, or whatever it is. You have children, you don't have children, whatever it is. You're supposed to be happy with what you have. So the first kasha, obviously, that jumps to mind is that, how do you expect me to be happy when I'm supposed to do what I don't have children or I'm not married yet? because Baruch Hu says you're not supposed to get married, you're supposed to have children, and I don't have that. How am I supposed to be happy with that? And if I would be happy with what I have, that means that I says, okay, I don't need anything else, and just leave it at that, and I don't have to, to work too hard on that. Why change it? The answer is exactly the opposite. The reason why we are not advancing, the reason why we are not getting closer to Avodas Hashem and doing what we need to do is exactly because we are not happy with our lives. I am exactly who I need to be. I have a certain neshama, I have a certain nefesh, a certain ruach, a very special combination. I came from a very specific, parents. I had very specific attributes, both positive and negative. And I went through the childhood that I did. I was able to, overcome certain things, and certain things have made an imprint on me, which has been making me miserable as long as I can remember myself. How do you expect me to be happy with that? The answer is because this is exactly the dosage that made me who I am at this very second. This is exactly who I need to be. Because Baruch Hu doesn't make any mistakes. Being happy with your lot means you have emunah. You have emunah Kadosh Baruch Hu. If I am stingy, you can many explanations why I'm stingy. I grew up and I feel like nobody's going to, back me up, whatever it is. I have a little money in my fingers, in my hands. I don't want to give it to somebody else because who knows what's going to happen tomorrow, the day after, whatever it is. So what about that? You want them? You want them to supposed to be happy with that, with this, with my lot of having this kind of stinginess, of unfounded fears or whatever? The answer is yes. Happy with my lot does not mean I'm not supposed to get better. It does not mean that I don't have to work on. It doesn't mean complacency. It means, Baruch Hashem, I'm good. I'm not as good as I ought to be, and I'm not as good as I will end up being, but I'm definitely good. I'm good. Whenever it is that I have a thought of something that I did I shouldn't have done, so tell Kadosh Baruch Hu about it. If it's on Shabbos, tell Kadosh Baruch Hu about it and say, I'm sorry about that. Dafka vidui, say, I did this and this and this. I took, I shouldn't have taken. I gave, I shouldn't have given. I did this, and that. Just say, Kadosh Baruch Hu, just mention it, because the dibur, brings it out from your essence. Because whenever it is that I did, that I shouldn't have done, it changed me. It printed upon me who I am. In order to get it, engraved in my character or whatever, the way to get it out is through vidui dvarim. When it says vidui dvarim fnei tamid chacham, dafka fnei tamid chacham. what happens? You don't have a Talmid Chacham, the tzaddik amiti, in order to say for Kodesh Baruch Hu. It also says a stunning thing in Likutei Tfilos when it talks about that need to confess about all the wrongs that I've done. And in other words, you're not supposed to sit there and sort of like enumerate there's. When you're making zbayas, you should. But the thing is, it happens as you're just walking, you're just going, and suddenly a memory comes. Catch it. Talk to Kodesh Baruch Hu about it, confess about it, and ask forgiveness for it. And tell Moshe, I'm sorry I did it. And I wish, B'ezrat Hashem, I haven't done it, and B'ezrat Hashem, I will never do it again. And the fact that sometimes I have this kind of craving that says, I really would have liked to do that again. It says, I'm sorry for that too. That craving, I'm sorry for that too. Because the Yetzer Hara comes to tell me, says, gotcha, huh? You say you're sorry, but you're not sorry. You want to do it again, don't you? I'm sorry that I did it, and I'm sorry that I want to do it again. And don't you know that too? Because I'm definitely good. I'm good. In my essence, I'm good. I cannot learn, beseder, right now. This is who I am. Maybe I will never be whatever somebody else is. That's fine. If David and I, always sort of like give to one another this thing, and it says the Tom said to the wise man, to the clever one. What he said to his wife, he says, Zeh inyan shaloi, v'zeh inyan shali. This is his business, and this is my business. This is his lot. This is what he has to deal with, and this is what I have to deal with. That's it. Being happy with one's lot is understanding that which I need to deal with, or that which I'm dealing with is exactly what I need to be dealing with. To the nth degree. What could be better? What could be better? That I should have to cope with somebody else's problem? That is the tikkun? That should have somebody else's problems? I can't get along with my own problems. You wanted to get along with somebody else's problems. The aschal at the beginning is always, 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 Baruch Hashem, I am who I am. I'm not happy about this. Baruch Hashem, because you want to be better. Should be happy for that. I'm making tshuva something that I've done in the past, and I have craving to do it again. I'm doing tshuva for both of them. Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem, I'm good. Baruch Hashem, I'm good. I'm working on it. I want to work on it. What else could I ask for? When you go like that, that's what Shemtov says. When you have that, when you're happy with your lot, and it's not just it begins with who you are, not just with what you have. You have Olam Hazeh and you have Olam Haba. Both. Everything's cool. Literally, everything is cool. I know what I have to work with. I know what I have to work against. I know exactly, what kind of midos problems I have. I know what kind of debts I need to return, and what kind of gzelos that I have to give back, and all these things. The temptation is like, oh, I can't believe this is like way beyond my pay grade. No, it's exactly pay grade. Trust the Kodesh Baruch Hu, trust the Kodesh of the Tzaddikim. I want to fix it all. I want to clean my midas completely. available to talk to you. I want to, to pour my heart before you, like, speaking to the best friend. And I want to return all the money that I owe people. And I want to, return all the gzelos that, I took somebody else's money with permission, without permission. I meant to, I didn't mean to. It sort of came about. I want to return. HaKadosh Baruch Hu knows every single one of those details. Help me ratify it. Help me rectify it. Everything. That's all you need to do. And you learn, and you do mitzvahs, and you're fine. You connect to the tzaddik, whatever it is that you cannot fix is being fixed. And Baruch Hashem, all good. That's the key to Olam Hazeh, says the Baal Shemtov. That's the key to Olam Haba. Because whenever it is that the Yetzer Hara manages to talk you into saying, I'm not the bee's knees. It's like I'm not where it's at. You don't know Olam Hazeh, and you don't have Olam Haba. No, that's Olam Haba. You're being very exacting with yourself, and then you're just demoralizing yourself. You're beating yourself up, and self-recrimination, and you're just bringing down the whole edifice. Don't do it. Okay, let's take a quick look, B'ezrat Hashem, on Sichos Haran for this week. B'ezrat Hashem. Here we go. Okay. All right. I believe that this is Sikha 184. I heard from Rabbeinu's name, that's from Nosson writes, that said that immediately when someone comes to him and gives him a shalom aleichem, like how people give, they shake each other's hands. As techek for Yodea kol ma shavar oiseh ish, immediately he knows everything that person did wrong, right or wrong. Omar Remez Hazen, he said a hint about it. Yad liyad lo yinakara, a hand to hand. When there is a hand to hand, this was said in Proverbs, lo yinakara. Immediately the ra is known. Immediately that we're giving over the hand to hand, seen as shalom. Immediately lo nakara. Immediately everything is evident to him. And he says, I also heard a little bit, and Rabbeinu made like a thing with his hand. That meant that by him it was a very simple thing. It's easy thing, the fact that he knows every person what he did from beginning to end, what he said and what was although he says the thing is that you don't need to have a saga, you don't have to have this for Hakadosh, whatever it is, you can also understand al pi chochma, just with wisdom, simple wisdom, if you're a smart person. Because you can see from a person's words what he did and who he is. Also, simonim from a person's nose, you can say that you can see somebody who is an adulterer. You can see by the person's belt. You can see his emunah, if his emunah is mishlei misanat. And if you add a simonim, there are a few other people that came to him, and he told them exactly what it is that they did. Renosim writes in the Mechtovim, in the letters, to his son, and he said that it is clear to me, I know and I believe, that Rabbeinu, the Tzaddik Emes, he knows every single Jewish neshama, because they're all coming from him. Every single neshama, whatever happened to that neshama from the very beginning, and whatever will happen with that neshama until the end of time. And he says, and this is a very small matter by him. We have absolutely no notion of what is the pshat of any tzaddik. Any tzaddik. let alone the really, really great tzaddikim, and let alone the tzaddikims. We have absolutely no notion what it means. It is, as I said before, so beyond our pay grade. And Rabbeinu explains in a few places, and Rabbi Nosson explains that, in great length. It seems like, we're human beings, and we are saying, look, I'm a human being, and I can't do that. So probably nobody else can do it either, because he's just a person, right? I'm a person, and I can't do that. And he's a person, he's just a person, so he probably can't do it either. But that's not a proof. First of all, there are a lot of things that other persons who are just people can do, which is way beyond what you can do. But forget about that. We're talking about a quality that is not a quantitative quality. It's not something that you have more talent and you're smarter and you're quicker and you know more and more and more and more, and then you can know physics or to play music or to paint or whatever. Everybody says that these kind of quantitative advantages are physical, belong to the physical world. The qualities and the abilities of El Chayidin, of Gita Yidin, of Tzaddikim, the people of Tzaddikim, Baruch Hashem, we're talking about the Lubavitcher Rebbe, we're talking about, Reb Shale Kerestir, we're talking about the Ribnitzer Rebbe, we're talking about the Gerer Rebbe, we're talking about the Baal Belzer, we're talking about Kenana Haran, the Steipler, we're talking about Chaim Kanievsky, we're talking about, Baruch Hashem, Lo Alman Yisrael. Their hasaga, their level of what they can achieve is not something which is achieved by quantitative wisdom, but rather by stripping away the step down mechanism represented with the gashmis of the body. Because the neshama of a person is a chelek elokam imal. You're basically piece of godliness that is clothed in a body. That's what you are. The reason why you are quote unquote just a person is because the body slows you down. It's a step down mechanism. Your nervous system and your brain, they're holding your capacity. But the thing is that when you strip away the gashmis of the body, what happens is that the true nature of the neshama suddenly becomes loose. The true ability of the neshama suddenly becomes, evident. Tzaddik. The tzaddik is full with mefsek. The saying said about Charlotte Kerstir, he used to have a pot, and he used to feed people. He worried about somebody else's gashmis. Rabbi Nachman says that somebody else's gashmis is your ruchnis. Kerstir was a tzaddik, amazing tzaddik, and he used to feed people all the time, and they said that the pot that he had, there was always food in his house. He always gave people to eat. And the pot that he had in his house, he said it was a limited pot, but as much food as he doled out of it, there was still food in it. Because the tzaddikim are always full of mefsek. All you need to do, you have to need a muna in them, and you'll be able to see all the mefsek. I don't know if it's Reb Shale Kerestir that said this particular mefsek about this particular thing, but there was another tzaddik who used to feed all the poor people in his town. Very nice. His livelihood was he had one cow. In those days, it was a very common thing. People had cows. The cows gave milk. You sold the milk. You bought other stuff, whatever. The cow was, the factory that you had. One week, he did not have the wherewithal to feed the poor people in town. So he went and he shechted this cow and he gave the meat to all the poor people. Now you stop short. There is something about, being a pshalakir, feeding everybody and have a magical pot that keeps on giving whatever it is. Taking your last, that cow, which your living depends on, so somebody else can have what to eat. That strips down the gashmis from a person. That makes just a person into somebody that's no longer a person. That's much more than a person. For a person like this, Me'al Teva is the Teva. It's not even a moifes that he's doing moifsim. What they say about the Ribnitzer. Tremendous moifsim. My son can tell him. Tremendous. There's I'm going to start telling you stories about the Ribnitzer Rebbe. He's somebody who lived, in my generation. He used to go to the mikveh. He was in Russia, in the Soviet Union, and he used to go to the mikveh a few times a day. Was a tremendously holy Jew. And the one time he was arrested, and it was the middle of the winter, and the officers that arrested him, he told them, before you take me away, I want to tovel in the river. Now the river was frozen over. So they looked at him and they laughed. So you want to dip in a frozen river? You're going to break the ice and dip yourself in it? He said, yeah. So they said, all right, go. And they looked at him, and he went. He went to the ice, and he broke the ice, took off his clothes, and he dunked in the water. So these two officers said to one of them, this guy is nuts. Just leave him alone, and left him alone. What the tzaddikim can achieve, as Rabbeinu says, El Chayid, people look at him and they think that he's just another human being. He's going around, he has innards just like everybody else, but he's a totally different matter, a total different inyan. What this inyan is, we can't even say, because we don't have the words for it. But the main nakuda is, and Rabbeinu says, about this thing, about knowing what a person did, Rabbeinu says, you don't even need to get to that. This you can do it even with a quantitative, seichel. You don't even need the qualitative, the quantum leap kind of seichel. You don't even need that. But kal v'chol, I think, when you need to rectify neshamas, as Reb Nosson says in Shluchim, a person needs to search for the tzaddik emes all his life. And he says it doesn't matter whether you know who he is, because if you know who he is, it means you haven't scratched the surface of who he is. You need to look for him. And if you don't know who he is, you should doubly search every single day of your life until, Bezrat Hashem, you will find, he says, maybe, he says, even the last day of your life, you will be able to get closer to him. Baruch Hashem Elokei Yisrael, Shelo Hishbis Meitanu Goyel, that has done this amazing miracle to us, and sent us, Moshe Rabbeinu, and all the tzaddikim to lift us, to uphold us, and take care of us in Olam Hazeh, in Olam Habo. Skusam Tegen Aleinu Kol Israel. That Hashem, Kadosh Baruch Hu should bless us all in a gewaldige week. That Hashem, we should have bracha and atzlacha and health in body and in spirit. This shir was given to a refuah shleima to Kol Chol Israel, refuah shleima for Fege Bas Rachel, and Selma Bat Florence, and Shmuel ben Esther, and Rav Yitzchak Meir ben Leah, and Rav Menashe ben Fortuna, Rav Eliyahu ben Fortuna, and Kol Chol Israel, Moshe ben Chasiba, and Kol Klal Israel, that Hashem Megashmis, Beruchnius, of Brius, Rav Eliezer ben Etia, Rav Simcha ben Yochana, Rav Nosson ben Dovid, Nosson ben Miriam, Rav David ben Rocha, Bezat Hashem. Hashem Zat Hashem will be seeing Geula Shleima Bekar B'Minu Amen. Bias Mashiach Tzidkenu we're all waiting for. Kol Tov and a fantastic week to all of us.